Okay, everybody, welcome to the Outlet Podcast. Trying to get the lighting situation better. It's never going to get better. I'm driving. Anyways, my name's Gazy, and you can listen to all of my audio podcasts iTunes, via iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher. You can download the apps, or if you have the Apple, congratulations. Apple is pretty cool. I'm an Android person myself, but I respect Apple's game. I respect the Apple game. Anyways, guys, every other way you can contact me, it will be in the description below. This is going to be a part 2 of, what was it? Like, Christians dating non-Christians. And I wanted to do a part 2 because part 1, there's only so much stuff that I can cover. So, in the previous vlog entry, I succinctly said that a Christian should not date a non-Christian because we date for a purpose, and the purpose is for marriage, and there will be conflict that will arise when it comes to raising a child. With all that said, I started to think about the types of people that might watch this video. It's hard for me to conceive in my head people who say they're Christians and don't practice the lifestyle. If you, if you're not an active participant in what the scriptures, how the scriptures tell you to live your life, you can do whatever you want. I mean, if you're not gonna if you're gonna be a Christian just because you say it and you're not living it, then that's kind of on you. I don't know what to say. I mean, you do what you want then. For the sake of argument, what I want to do is talk about dating in general. Yeah. A Christian can date a non-Christian. You can date a non-Christian. Because non-Christians are people too. It sounds very childish to say it, and I don't mean it in a disrespectful way. However, we just forget. If you're an atheist, I don't know, some atheists that I know personally, not that everybody, but the ones that I know, they're cool. They do have their opinions, and they do mind if you share yours, because that's just the way that they want to be wired. That's the way they choose to be wired. But that's not saying that they're a bad person. I guess, could you date someone who's a non-Christian? Yeah, you can. However, I would just propose to you, what is it that you've found in them to be so alluring? I'm not saying that condescendingly at all. What have you noticed in their lives? See, there are marriages that have lasted for a very, very, very long time. And they have very different opinions about various things. I just feel personally that our convictions as Christians and our mindset as Christians is wired in a particular way. We live our lives, believing what Scripture says. So that entails current event issues, prophetic issues, things like that. We let the Scripture speak and we follow. That's how we live. And I make no scruples or apologies for that in any way, shape, or form. No apologies for that. Practically, you can date anybody that you want. You can take a girl out on a date. I am a huge proponent for dating. If you want to date a girl, take her out, show her a nice evening, That's great. That's really good. That's really nice. I think girls love it when you treat them special, regardless if you have a future with them. Regardless if you do, it's nice to treat girls nice. It's nice to treat girls nice. But if you want to go further, you have to acknowledge certain realities that will play a part. I mean, in the beginning, you're not going to worry about gay marriage issues, or I don't know, enter an issue here. I don't know. You're not going to, in the beginning, you're not going to worry about that. But maybe 2 years down the line, when you're dating and you're wondering, where does it go from here? See, that's where this comes in, this tete-a-tete. A Christian doesn't need or shouldn't date a non-Christian, because there's not the same result. Now, the Bible talks about marrying. Now, the sidebar, we're talking about dating. We're not talking about marriage. There's a very large difference. If you are dating for the purpose of marriage, then you can follow that mindset. But dating is far, far different from marriage. The Bible, I believe Paul was writing to the Corinthians, and he was saying that if two virgins are burning towards one another, let them marry, for it's better, for them to marry than to be, fall in sin. That's cool. That's marriage. That's marriage. And we're talking about people who, two virgins, so that lets you know the type of people that they are. They're virgins. So note that, please note that. Just because you're horny doesn't mean that you should get married. All right? That's not the point. Just because you're very sexually frustrated doesn't mean you should get married. It's if you found a girl who lines up with what you believe, you love her, she is lovely to you, and then you move, then okay. You see what I'm saying? It's better than falling in sin and giving her a life altering guilt. That, because regardless of if you get over it or not, you still have the guilt. There are many people in life who say, I wish I didn't lose my virginity this way or lose my virginity that way. So yeah, if you have, I feel bad for you, son. I'm sorry that you might have lost your virginity in XYZ ways. It's hard. I was able to get married. Me and my wife were both able to get married as virgins. See my ring? We were both able to be married as virgins. Very difficult, bro. Very difficult. I was 27 years old. That's hard to be a virgin for 27 years. Yikes. Or, it's crazy. When I was 1 year old, forget about it. No, I'm joking. But, yeah, it's very difficult. But it's not impossible. It's not impossible. So, yeah, you guys. In terms of what Paul said about marriage, Paul said that if a believer married a non-believer, then that believer should stay, that believer's belief will cover or bless the non-believer. That believer will be sanctified by the believer's belief. So, where does this fall? I'm not going to say that you can't love a person who's not a Christian. You can love a person who's not a Christian. You can. You can even marry one. A girl or a boy. A boy marry a girl, girl marry a boy. That's what I believe. But if you continue with the vice, you can marry a boy or a girl that doesn't believe in God, doesn't believe in Jesus Christ. You can. But get ready. Get ready. Love tolerates a lot of stuff. Love tolerates it, but Like some things are just intolerable. Like I don't know, if my wife didn't believe in donating, like giving money to missionaries, if my wife didn't believe that, that would be an issue. I believe we need to send money to these people who dedicate their lives to spreading the gospel of Jesus Christ in all these other countries, and even here at home in my country, America. But yeah, if you choose to marry a non-believer, I pray that your love is strong, because the love that my wife has for me, and likewise vice versa, that's great. But guess what? I still need to pick up my clothes. I still need to wash them, wash the dishes. Some things you don't tolerate. Like, love is all good for the inside lovey, Facebook pictures, profiles, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever stuff. Love is great for that. But when it comes to living life, that's something different. So my advice, if you really, really love her and she really loves you, and if you've both decided to respect one another's differences, maybe start writing out the details, because I don't believe that God will ever not tell you to tell your children about Jesus Christ. I don't think God will never not tell you to not take your kids to church. Or I don't believe God will never not tell you to read the Bible, and not read it under the ideas, because some people like to say the Bible is historically accurate. All of these individuals did live. David was a king. Abraham did exist. All of these individuals historically existed. So it's very hard for science and query to prove them wrong, because they actually existed. Whether you choose to believe the miracles or not, well, that's on you, bro or sister. That's on y'all if you choose not to believe in the miracles. But the people existed. So if you choose to be in a household where your spouse is saying that Jesus was a mythical creature, like if the Bible is just a bunch of stories, which I've heard people say stories, the Bible isn't a bunch of stories, it's a bunch of history. Everything in the New Testament that followed Jesus was crucified. Whether you choose to believe or not that he was resurrected from the grave is on you. But Paul existed. Peter existed. We have proof. Paul went to Spain. It's in the Bible. Paul went to Spain. In the book of Job, Job talks about there being mountains underwater. There are mountains under the sea. There are mountains, giant caves and rocky crags. That's in the Bible, bro. If your partner chooses to paint the Bible in a picture that is like a storybook, well, you love her, right? See, that's where it gets hard. So that's where I'm just going to stop, and that's where I think I can't go any further if, when it comes to choosing to date a Christian or a non-Christian. I can't go any further because everything is there. It's not impossible, but I can't tell you, because I can't tell you if it is possible. So, cliffhanger. Sorry for ending it on this kind of note, but it is what it is, yo. So, comment below, because I still want to know what your opinion is. Find me on Facebook, on Twitter, on my blog, on WordPress. Everything will be in the description below, as well as my podcast. You'll love my podcast, I promise. Pinky. Anyways, my name's Gazy, host of the Outlet Podcast. Connect, recharge.